Going live.
Let me look up my terrible ballot.
That's a good point. I probably should pull mine up too.
I'm glad everyone's preparing as Maggie goes live. Good work.
I had the list of who got in at least. I just didn't think about my ballot. So
Well, we are live now, folks. So Ben, you want to kick us off here? This is the Hosp report.
I wasn't prepared to. Yeah, let's talk about Hall of Fame ballots.
Well done.
There we go.
She bought the naming rights. I didn't know I had to talk.
Well, she owns you now. Yeah, she owns the Hosp report. So you gotta. So much like Joe Biden in South Carolina, Hall of Fame has been reborn with double the card pool now. I think it was 39 or something. We had a discrepancy in on what the lists were on the website, but 38 cards.
Is there a recount?
I don't know how computers work.
Oh man, what is this? What is this? Florida now? I thought we were going to South Carolina.
The voting's fine. I meant the previous cards on the main page. There was a card missing. Or
what was it?
Maybe the Centaur. I don't know. I left that to people who know how computers work. But
okay.
So I think there was 39 cards total for the previous 3 years, and now we have 38 cards.
I was wondering if it's one of those ones like Rogue Borg Ambush that I always think is in, but isn't.
Yeah, correct. And so yeah, double the class now. A lot of that has to do with peak performance. We have 6 first ballot Hall of Famers.
That's not as many as I expected.
Yeah, well, 2 fell short. Trillium D and Unrelenting fell 1 vote short. And so that's it. Yeah, that's because of peak performance. That whether good or bad or infamous. And we had 30 ballots this year, which is 5 less than last year, which I also think contributed to the increase. Usually the late ballots or the more negative or no let's just call them hater ballots come in at the end. So I'll start with Maggie. What was the biggest surprise that you think got in this year?
What was the biggest surprise? Lustful Distraction. Just looking at this list, I was like, what? Especially since, well, I won't say that, but that's like not a card I ever see. But then again, I don't see a lot of Starfleet in my meta, so
less Chicago's heart. If you don't see Lustful Distraction, it's probably one of the best. It's one of the best preventers in the game. Amber, what was the biggest surprise for you that got it?
Well, the biggest surprise for me is that somebody voted to put Whispers in the Dark in and keep Tchaikovsky.
That's me.
Well, we're going
to get to that. Yeah. And I'm going to say Trillium D was my fault because I apparently voted no.
I also did because it's not that bad by itself.
Well, Ben, let me I don't even care what Ben's opinion is because this is all his fault.
Yeah.
And it's even he voted that the year before, but it didn't matter. This year it was right on the threshold.
Yay.
You know, what pisses me off, Ben, I think last year you voted for Tislavsky, the Space Dilemma, and not Whispers because Tislavsky had more votes. I think you fucked up. Right. So now we got to deal with a year, maybe more of one 8-pointer and not the other. But what was your biggest surprise that got in, Ben?
Well, I none of these are that surprising. I mean, I'm very sad about the 2 Bajor region missions.
A lot of missions this year, yeah.
Now I got to put real ships in my Bajor deck, and I can't just fly around the sailboat and for the whole game.
Yeah, a lot of missions got in this year, but not a lot of dilemmas. I think people aren't ready to give up those dilemmas, but at least they're ready to give up some missions. The biggest missions I think were the TNG Gold Standard Geological Survey and Avert Danger. They fell a little short last year, and
yeah, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, my biggest surprise was the Excelsior. Finally, a generic non-unique ship that for for a first time, just on its merits as a card that just deserves it. It's been played enough. It's not, not for any gameplay reasons. And maybe Escape is now retired. So get your murder.
Yeah, what surprised me more are the ones that didn't get in, especially with what did, like Escape getting in.
Getting into my next question would be, Maggie, what's the biggest surprise that did not get in?
Chula the Chandra. That was my biggest surprise.
No one's gonna let it go.
Yeah, and I voted yes on that one, and the dice.
I voted no on them because I don't know, because if you take away my dilemmas, I don't know what to do. Like, there's 2 dilemma piles I know how to make in Hall of Fame, and if you take away one of them, then I don't know what to do.
Yeah, last year Changer got 60%, and it dipped a little bit this year to 56. So we're trending in the wrong direction when it comes to getting rid of dilemmas. It's hard. Amber, what was your biggest surprise that did not get in?
It did not. Double checking, I'm correct. Garrick, with all the hate and annoyance there's been around Cardassians this year, I thought people would have been more excited to get rid of one.
See, that's on my list here of happy. I'm happy that did not get in because with Mirror Bajor being new, and Elam is their best personnel. And I know Elam can get popped into a regular Cardassian deck, and I think that's a separate problem. But my take on that is that's the wrong Elam. I'm a hard no on yellow Garrick until the original goes in.
I guess the one that I guess I'm finally gonna answer your question now of what I'm surprised did get in. It was Holding Cell.
Thank you. We'll go back in time.
Because if you're like, for that same reason that, like, I kept expecting someone to go, like, at some big event, go real hard, like all in on Holding Cell with that O'Brien, and like just fuck all your interrupts. But I mean, I guess someone still can, but I think like Holding Cell seems like an anti-Cardassian card, and I don't know why. I can't understand why it got in and not Mila. That is bizarre to me.
Yeah, that would be one of my cards that I'm upset that it went up though. Last year Mila got 48%, and this year 60%. So maybe next year she can get over the finish line.
I was looking for the TOS Cisco, and he didn't even get nominated. So I guess that's one thing that makes sense to me.
Wait, didn't he get retired already?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
No, Mirror Cisco. No, Mirror Cisco is not retired.
No,
Interrupt
Cisco. That's probably I'm becoming elderly and I don't remember things.
Yeah, is Staffer Cisco? Is he on the list? Like, he already got retired, didn't he?
Negative.
Probably.
Oh, well, shit. Now I know what I'm nominating next year.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the master list now, you can see that it's light on personnel. So I'm going to be campaigning next year for Hero Personnel 2021. Nominate all the heroes because Tanatra is coming up, so it's time to focus on some personnel.
Yeah, Tanatra. Like I said, I think Tanatra should be a unanimous first ballot inductee.
I'm confident she'd get in. My next question would be, Maggie, what card got in that you wish didn't get in?
What card got in that I wish didn't get in? I think with all the fun stuff that's coming out in the next set, Enterprise J. Because I'm itching to build some decks with the stuff that's coming out in the next set, and that will be extremely helpful. So Enterprise
without any context or even catching them up to speed, I'm going to ask Brian Sykes, what card got in that you wish did not get in, Brian? You're not even being introduced. No one cares who you are. Just answer the question. Is he asleep?
He's
Is he?
He's got the same problem as he always does.
He was very confused. by his computer. All right, well, forget him then. Amber, what card got in that you wish did not get in?
Unexpected difficulties.
Oh, let it
I love
go.
it.
Oh, stop. It's time. Last year, it got 60%, and now it finally got over the threshold pretty easily. But it's just, Amber, see, now you're a hypocrite, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you're one of the biggest claimers that games go too long. And I think that's a little bit to do of the company you keep. But getting rid of UD will speed up the game.
You can still use that bad cue card.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
okay, fine. We'll see what happens.
We'll call it Shitty UD. You should change the title to that cue card to Shitty UD.
I still feel like when we call it UD, it does sound like it does sound like something that requires penicillin. So
Yeah, you got a UD.
you got a UD.
Well, we cleared it.
There's an event infection.
Brian Sykes, are you with us yet? Are
Can
you?
you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, now.
All right.
Are you?
Nice poster, sir.
The Bluetooth's not working, so I guess I'll have to deal with the audio on my computer, which sucks.
So you didn't hear all the insults I threw at you when you were staring blankly at your computer screen? That's a shame. Sykes, my question would be, what card got in that you wish did not get in?
So I say that again?
What card got inducted this year that you
Now I
wish
can hear
did
you.
not? Oh boy, I'm giving up on him. To you, Hosp, answer the question.
Who, me? Oh,
There we go.
I'm salty about all these cards. I got a sour face for this.
Well, what happened to you? Because your ballots have completely changed this year.
Yeah.
Why have you changed party? Why have you become into the no party?
Oh, because I liked how Hall of Fame was this year, and I didn't want it to change. And now everything's now things are different.
Oh! He didn't want to build a new deck.
Yeah, he's lazy. That's fine.
Yeah. You'll notice I didn't campaign against anything. I just voted bad, and now I'm salty about it. But now,
Well, at least unlike European players, you'll just admit that you're lazy, and that's the reason why you're not happy about something instead of coming up with absurd reasons why there's things wrong with the game just because you don't want to destroy one event before.
I mean, I haven't been bored at work since the Hall of Fame results came out, so I could still come up with a real long, annoying post.
Grant, we need more of those. We need more annoying posts, Ben. That's good. That's good. The best we're seeing. Sykes, have you caught up yet? Have you figured out the internet?
Okay?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right. So, what card got in this year, Sykes, that you wish did not get in?
What card got in? So there were two cards that I voted no on that got in. One was Avert Danger, which I'm kind of like whatever, and the other one I think was Whisper in the Dark. And of those two, I think I'll just go with Whisper because fuck Ben and his crazy voting yes on one, no on the other bullshit.
Yes, we've already covered Ben.
I'm so happy that it happened. I know I was mad about like I'll take that I have to make that I have to make so many new decks because all my missions are retired because just I got to do that to people.
Yeah, I mean, I never understood the Avert Danger hate. I mean, Geosurvey, I get, but it's 32 missions for 30. Like, what's the problem?
It's not about hate. It's about heritage. No, it kind of is.
It is about heritage, not hate.
Exactly. Shit, we made it right. Well, I stumbled. I guess I don't have to explain myself. It worked. I cured racism. But it's not about if it's good or bad. It's about you've seen Avert 400 times. It's let it go. It's okay, man. There's other missions out there.
Yeah, I'm starting to buy the conspiracy that this whole Hall of Fame exercise is just a giant fuck relativity. You know.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
There is that.
My poor deck.
Well, my one of my questions also is what was hardest hit by this year's class? So
TNG. Well, I mean, obviously, with Galgathong and Ad Impasse, also that so well with what was hardest hit is Neil Timmons.
The Maquis, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna. We're also
I
gonna
thought
get
that was the point of this format was fuck Neil Timmons. I thought that was it. Did I miss something?
You know, it took 4 years to get there.
No, it's those 4 cards are specifically fuck Neil Timmons, but and Petal also, but in general it's TNG with those like you said, those missions and the Excelsior and what's the other one? Oh yeah,
McCoy and Guinan.
So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So McCoy and Guinan fell a little short last year at 60%. They got in easily this year with 80%. And also Klingon Riker got in. So any chance of Minnesota players ever playing Hall of Fame have dropped to 0% because.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the 2005 meta got hardest hit. I mean that's really what the
yeah.
That's the best take you've ever had. Good job.
No, actually, with so many cards getting in this year, I mean the class is like more than equal to all the previous years combined. I think my real answer for what got hardest hit was lazy players who build the same dilemma piles over and over again, because there were some clutch dilemmas that got in that now people actually have to start thinking. I mean, it's like when we retired Gomtu and Personal Duty where no one's gone before. A couple of years ago, I had to go relook at all my dilemma piles because those were basically the only space dilemmas I ran, and I think that's good. I mean, I think lazy players need to be able to force rethink things every now and then.
Well, that is a minority opinion on the message boards. People don't want to have to.
Sykes, you're full of shit because there's 5 dilemmas that got it.
Okay, but in development and Polywater have been staple dilemmas forever. I mean.
So yeah, Polywater is one of my biggest surprises because last year it barely cracked 50%, and this year was I think it might have been number 1 with 86.7.
Yep.
So
yeah, it was like the number 1 vote, wasn't it?
Yeah, I found that surprising.
Prey, shockingly.
I don't understand that. Yeah. I'd like to point out that none of my nominees got in, even though they're.
I was going to, and then not only did none of your nominees.
No on at least one of them. Now that I think about it.
So none of your nominees got in, and I think one of Nick's came in at the bottom. So like all you guys who applied for 2E director have completely disqualified yourselves with your Hall of Fame nominations.
Yeah, who nominated for Ringanar? I know last year that was Sheets.
That's the Josh.
It's a Sheets nomination every year.
He does it every year. He likes to annoy me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think I voted no on Daenerys Advance because that was I only nominated that because Excelsior had already been nominated.
And I don't know if TNG. I mean, the gold standard got hit with the missions being gone. But Davies couldn't get over it. People aren't ready to give up Davies.
Well, who gives a shit about Davies if he doesn't have that mission to do?
Yeah, it's a bad. I don't agree with. So there's plenty of other missions to use, and also you can use.
Yeah, but there's nothing else to use Davies on.
There's plenty of other. Yeah, that's why you should retire Davies because there's plenty of other non-unique TNG people to.
Yeah, none of them have geology. That's the problem. If you take away Davies, TNG has like Shelby and like.
Get a fucking tricorder,
and that's it.
Get a tricorder, asshole.
Use those.
Anyway.
Use those.
Well, I don't use tricorder. You guys banned grav plating trap. Like, what's the point of tricorder?
Because it gives you geology, you dumb fuck.
So I want to get to some of the meta
cards that we've been boiling for grav trap actually do things. What? Well, this is news to me.
So I would consider 3. There was 3 meta cards on the ballot. One was I forget the City Alpha 5. Not City Alpha 5.
Alpha 5 approach. A5A.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, what was it called? Transport Crash Survivors. I hate when they change the names around. So TCS. I don't have the numbers on me, but that didn't get in, so it's safe. It's still safe to. The one that did get in was Necessary Execution. So now in the Hall of Fame, it is safe to go planet first again.
Yeah.
So
A5A got 17 votes.
Yeah, Necessary Execution got just in with 20 votes. So doesn't that
safe to go planet first again? And there's no and Whisper got in.
Yeah, isn't that going to be the most, I guess, game-changing effect?
Well, probably not because Investigate Maquis activity got retired like a year or two ago. So like that's the go-to planet first mission, and you can't do it in Hall of Fame anyway.
And then the other meta mission was Timescape. Timescape last year it got 37%. This year it got up to 46. So
Yeah,
maybe in about
Timescape
2
needs
years.
to not. Timescape needs to not. Like that's a.
No, Design needs to make another card similar to Timescape, a shittier Timescape.
You did, and it sucks even. And
No, it works for Legacy.
no
It's
one
a
even
Legacy
does
pile.
it in Legacy.
Oh, I know.
No, I put Workforce in the legacy pile for my kid a couple years ago, and Ben Hosp like out-teched him by attempting without physics and getting stopped, and then the second team went to insult. So
Yep.
that didn't
Yep.
work at all.
Yep, I did that. I think I did that on purpose.
And I think we alluded to it earlier, but Maggie doesn't have to worry about going to Ben's house and getting Shankar 17
Oh
times
God.
because Biogenic and Shankar are now inducted.
even-
It wasn't even
Yes.
Maggie. The Shankar wasn't the problem. The problem is you had a deck with no archaeology in it and one transporters.
Yeah, that's also true because I was playing a Dominion deck.
Yeah, that you literally couldn't. Like,
How
Yeah,
does he not fight
I
gladiators?
couldn't
That
fight
makes no sense at all.
gladiators. I couldn't
Yeah.
fight gladiators the whole time. It was bad. But also getting Shankard 3 times did not help.
in the next set after that, in memory of that, I made sure I think every Dominion personnel in what was it, Symbiosis has archaeology or transporters.
I did not even notice that. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, so if you're
And,
playing Dominion and you're not running the original Kalana from Call to Arms, you're doing it wrong because she is the single best skill gap filler for that entire affiliation. Like, I remember back in the day when Sandy Barnes was playing Dominion every week. If I could take out Kalana, I could track all his skills because she had like medical and transporters and archaeology and like all the things that the rest of the people didn't have. But if I couldn't get rid of her, then I couldn't use any of my skill stuff because he had everything covered otherwise. So, Kalana is the answer to archaeology.
turns out I'm full of crap and think of a totally different set, but never mind.
And then what my next hot take about peak performance would be that the wrong damage card got inducted because retiring Archer don't mean shit. You just put in the other shitty Archer. It was the annoying ship that could a flying headquarters is the one that should have got retired. Ben, tell me why I'm right.
Oh, because the mobile headquarters suck.
Yeah, I'd be okay. I voted yes on Damaged Enterprise. I'd be fine retiring it, but you will get my Voklang when you fry it from my cold dead hands because my Delta Klingons reserve the right to have a mobile headquarters.
I'll agree that one's the one that's not so bad, but
No, the Voklang, the Voklang is the worst one because you don't have to commit to it. You can. I used to run that with my one random the instructed band's drone, and because you can just do it for the one mission that's hard to get to.
And then my last two cards that I have on my list here, I'm also happy that Tarek Noor Ducat didn't get inducted. It fell one vote short. I don't see a lot of Tarek Noor being played, so I don't see a reason to get. He's very powerful, but it's Tarek Noor. And then Energize did not get in. It's starting to drop down, and I think Energize needs to go in the Hall of Fame. And then that's it. That's all my Hall of Fame hot text. Maggie, how does this affect you going into Masters 3, a 3-day argument about the Democratic primary?
I was kind of thinking of playing.
Getting the branding right.
Yeah. I think that it's not going to have a big effect on either of the decks I was planning to play. I'll have to take Necessary Execution out of my Dilemma pile. Riker might have a minor effect, but
If you're playing triple bombs, you don't need Klingon Riker. You can throw in.
Exactly. So it was yeah. So might play triple bombs. I don't know. I also was thinking about Hazmat Starfleet, and that's safe with Trillium D.
This opportunity. Probably you should have got, man. Is that one of the Neil screwed us cards?
No, Neil actually voted. He was the last minute ballot with a couple, just a few yes voters. One of them was Trillium D, so he actually came up short on. That's one of the ones
he made the he didn't he vote yes on both 2 point both 8-pointers, which put him or
no. He voted no on both of them. That's what brought it
okay,
down.
yeah,
That's
good.
Amber,
he made my chaos
scenario. Yes, yeah, he made your dream. He made the prophecy come true. Now, Amber, everyone claims that Hall of Fame is the fuck relativity format. I disagree because I think relativity is actually shitty because it's just a Kirk-based affiliation. So if you play relativity in standard, I'm not impressed. It's actually quite boring. If you were to play it in Hall of Fame, oh, that gets you the glory. So Amber, what are you going to do at Masters 3?
Not relativity. I was actually debating it, even without revised Chakotay, without Kirk.
Data didn't get in. You still have data, future data.
Yes, I still have data, but you took away Avert Danger, which is one of their best missions. So now I have to switch my plan and play something else. But otherwise, my dilemma pile doesn't have to change a lot. That's a good thing. Only a little bit. But yes, no relativity. That's out now. So that made me sad.
Sykes, I don't know if you're coming to Masters, but you got a Hall of Fame online event coming up, right?
I do. We got the regional coming up in May. It's Hall of Fame. I'm the only one registered so far. So,
Brian, how do you play
online community?
How do you play online without the internet?
What?
What is the internet, Brian? What is the internet?
Isn't it a series of tubes?
Series of tubes where you can talk shit about movies. Good shoot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still think you can.
Here's my hot take for this class. I think the one thing that not only didn't get hit but actually got help was the wallboard cheese from last year. Because Back to Basics didn't get in. I specifically nominated it because of the stuff that you and Ben Bremen were playing at Masters last year, which is wall after wall after wall. And on top of that, Bridge Officer's Test just got taken out. So there's no answers for that now. So you're just going to be bouncing.
Michael just said that earlier. That the Borg deck would still be really good.
Yeah, it got better. I mean,
unrelenting.
I'm looking at Bajoran's Borg or let's see, maybe Hazmat Starfleet for online regional, because those are the three that make the most sense in the Hall of Fame meta. At least looking at it right now.
Starfleet.
I was gonna make Paul.
Did we lose Ben?
I was gonna give Paul the Quark Shankar deck, and I don't even. I am so messed up by this class. I don't even know what to give the new guy to play. I am.
No, screw Shankar. Don't give that to a new person or an old person.
I'm just.
Well, no, only not Ben can win with that deck.
Yeah.
Every time Ben plays, he loses.
Yeah.
I went to his house, last year. I only had one deck with me. I was saving it for Sunday, so I grabbed that deck off the shelf and we put this late night.
Yeah, and he was complaining at me the whole time. There's not enough personnel in this deck.
I think that's why Ben got mad at me nominating Shankar last year.
Yeah.
Most of my decks, Ben, we're able to have up to 3 decks at Masters main event, right?
Yeah.
Did you make that official?
Yeah.
And my 3 decks, I don't think they've been roughed up too much. Bajorans don't really. I mean, Bridge Officer's Test, you always have that in a Bajoran deck, but you can live without that. And most importantly, Connor's Android deck survives without lore. And I don't know what's wrong with people not inducting lore into the Hall of Fame. He you gotta let him go and energize.
The other war. So Matt Hayes nominated Brother and Son, and it's what's he even doing? I mean, I haven't seen that card played.
Well, everyone's gonna. I mean, if you're in a meta with 2, 3, 4 other people, one person banging on one card, that's all you know.
Brother and Son is the one Android with navigation, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. That's all I have, Maggie. So if you're ready to wrap up this dog and pony show,
Sure.
or we
Thanks.
we could yell at you about the search for the 2E director if you want. We could yell at you about politics. I was waiting for you to.
Brian's exact words when he found out that Charlie was in charge of it were, "No, that can't happen," and he thought I was trolling him when I told him that.
Oh my.
Hit the stop button before we start shooting on. I hope Charlie abstains tomorrow when they confirm Nick in the meeting.
Well, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned for the board
We'll
meeting.
see what happens.
10 a.m. Central Time, folks. The February meeting on March 1st. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching the 2020 Late Night Hall of Fame reveal.